Pain is important, is unpleasant, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't be talking about it. But pain is important, we can get back at it later in the evening. But pain is a signal that our body gives us to tell us, hey, watch out, there is something fishy going on, you better pay attention. And by no means should we ignore our pain, by no means should we try to eliminate it and act as if it weren't there. Except that pain doesn't exist as an object, and it's a creation of our mind through our brain, caused by an impulse, but we can act on it. Analgesia is defined or described as being unable to feel pain while still conscious. And in fact, what's happening is that the body feels it, except that the brain does not translate it into pain. The signal has been somehow hijacked, interrupted, blocked, transformed, or whatever, and that's the pain does not, that's what analgesia is. So in order to provoke analgesia with Liliane yesterday on that part of her arm here, the first procedure is to what we call hypnotize her, which is helping her, guiding her reach that state of consciousness, which has nothing to do with sleep. Most hypnosis take place with closed eyes, but it's not a condition. It just facilitates to get into your own world. And through a series of a few exercises of imagination, because one of the definitions of imagination is a state of enhanced imagination and very focused. So through suggestions and putting on the imagination, we bring the body and the mind progressively into a state where the brain waves are calculated or measured at around 4 to 6 megahertz. That's for the scientific, but we really don't care. I don't go measuring them. Except that we know that at that state, each one has a very enhanced suggestibility. That is, by the way, a very natural state. Each one of us go through that at least twice a day, morning and evening, before sleeping, and before waking up and before sleeping. But very probably a dozen times a day, you're reading a book, watching a movie where you get really entranced in the movie. You're driving home and suddenly you are somewhere else, or you missed the exit because you are totally somewhere else in your thoughts. That is exactly the same phenomena. And that is the same state of mind that we as hypnotists try to induce into the person, and much more important, progressively teach the person to reach that state on her own. Boring is also hypnotic. So that is what we did yesterday. Then I had the time to install what we call a trigger, so that Liliane now has a trigger to put herself into hypnosis. And in that stage of consciousness that is different from the one you are here, or different from the one when we are sleeping, I have suggested to her that we have put a switch here, just a switch, electrical switch, flip on, flip off.
Vous pouvez tourner la chaise ou vous
Oui.
You're okay.
C'est beau, c'est beau.
Is it okay like that? So we suggested that we have a switch here, just like an electrical switch that interrupts the signal moving to the brains and back. And to be on the safe side, because we always want to be safe, we also installed the hypnotic analgesic that I rubbed on her hand here, that made her totally numb. And once that was the case, and once she accepted it, obviously, because if she hadn't, I think she would have kicked me. We were capable, or she was capable of eyes open, looking at herself being tortured with that. And I didn't allow Eddie to do
Ils ont pitié
it.
pour moi tous.
Bien sûr, ça se voit, je suis le grand ogre méchant. So that is what I'm going to show you now, or Liliane rather is going to be showing you. And from that we will develop on how to, because not everyone is suffering here, is how to move that numbness or similar state that we would have induced to the proper part of the body that is giving us problems.